What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we're going to talk about NIU today. It's a stock, it's not a crypto, and I want to go over the fact that on Thursday I was calling for prices to go a little bit higher, and if they didn't go higher, if in fact we closed below 445, that's what I said, 445, that I would be bearish, that we would go down. I doubt that we're going to go lower than this low here, but the reason why I was saying that I'm bearish below 445 on a closing basis is because we have been holding these lows. We've been going low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and from where we are currently in price, or I guess where we were currently in price, that was, this low is 26% away. We could drop 24% and still hold that low. That's why I was saying, back up here, that if we broke 445, if we closed below it, that I would be inclined that we're gonna make a move to set up yet another higher low. And I think that's what's going to happen. In fact, I'm so convinced that that's what's going to happen that I've sold all my stock in NIU personally. On Friday, I did that whenever I saw this close happen. After hours is whenever I got out. I averaged out at 435. I don't know how the price is at 429, and I averaged out higher than that, but I'm just lucky, I guess, or I'm unlucky, and on Monday it's just going to skyrocket without me. But I do feel safe selling my stock because we did break this 886. We broke it. We didn't just test, we didn't wick below it, we broke it. We didn't quite see the extensions we were looking for here. This looks weak to me, and whenever that happens, you want to at least, anytime that you can't quite get to the 1272 at a minimum, you come back to the 886 and then you go. And if you can't hold that, which we didn't, then you go to the 786 and then we go, which we didn't. We actually closed below that even. So the next line, and honestly, I wouldn't expect it to close like this, even if, and we kind of we are like right at the 786. We're just a little bit below it, but even if we were right at it, I would anticipate a move to the 618 just with the way that things look right now. And the reason why is because if we take this fib here, if we had a move like this, little wind up sent us up here. So from top to bottom, this was the move that set us up for this uptrend. We went up to the 1414 and then crashed all the way back down to the 236. Then we went all the way up to this 1618. Could we be coming down to this 618 right here? Or the 382. We held the 0.069 as support here, then the 236. We could be holding the 382, systematically working our way up, as is very common on a fib scale, using fibs. The 618 is at $3.81 on this one. The 618 from top to bottom here is at $4.10, and the 618, the most relative 618, is at $3.88. So anywhere from like $3.81 to $4.10 or something like that, that could be the bottom. But I do expect us to go lower. In fact, the main reason I expect us to go lower is because of this fib, is the fact that we've been setting slightly higher lows this whole time, this whole way. This low here is substantially higher than this one, but we had a lot more time in between. If you look at all these lows here, they're pretty close together. All of these lows here are pretty close together. So if we're forming another low here in a short amount of time, I would be inclined to think that it's going to be close to the previous low. And in fact, we have a gap right there, right down there, right here. Closed here, opened here. This is a gap right here between $3.57 and $3.48. Technically, actually, it's 357 to 348. So, I really wouldn't be surprised if NIU came all the way down there. And this is why I sold my stock, because right now I sold my shares in it. It's not my stock. It's it's whoever wants to buy its stock. But this, from the current price down to there, is a above 15% drop, and with no leverage involved, I can salvage 15% of my portfolio, or my position, not my portfolio, 15% of my position, and potentially double dip and make more on the way up as it's going up than I would if I just held it all the way through. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I feel pretty confident doing that. Not only was $4.45 the 886, but it was also this high, right? This was the high here, the previous high. It was the closing point right at it. You can see the C here. It tells you the closing point. If I put it on this, it says 445. So that to me was a significant enough level that if we broke below it, I'd be convinced that we were going to the downside. We did break below it. We closed below it and everything. So yeah, I'm definitely convinced we're going to go lower. I would be surprised. I would be very surprised if we went lower than this low. We've been holding this higher low formation since October of last year. I don't expect it to break now, especially with, you know, higher highs in the mix, and we've got some nice volume to the upside. There is a little bit of volume coming into the downside here. That's a pretty solid spike, but it is less volume. We'll see how it goes in the coming weeks. I'll keep you posted. The things to watch for really are this 618 here at like 388. I want to see how it interacts there, and then this 618 here. I also want to see how this interacts. And what I mean by interacts is I want to see if we bounce off of it, if we crash below it, come up and find a rejection off of it, you know, stuff like that. I want to see, do we just blast straight through it? I don't know. And we're not going to know until next week. So basically the game plan for me at the current time, I'm waiting for a higher low, and it really, man, it wouldn't surprise me if we close this gap. Let me just show you here. So, right, I don't know. We got this gap here. We came up and then we came down and closed it. And then we got a gap from here up here because we closed here but we opened up here. Came all the way up, came all the way down, closed that gap. We got a gap here. We came all the way up and then we came all the way back down to close that gap. Gap there, gap right there. We opened there and then we opened here. Oh no, it's not a gap. Okay, that's not a gap actually. My bad. But this gap here, what I'm trying to get at is it wouldn't surprise me. And in fact, I've been watching NIU for quite some time, long enough to know that it does like to do stuff like this where it'll go up just and then like have a gap down here. It'll go up a good bit away from it just to come all the way back down, fill that gap. It doesn't even have to fill it completely. It just has to partially fill it, get into this territory, and then turn up from there. And that's kind of what I'm expecting. Another higher low that's going to set us up for higher highs. This could happen. This could take the rest of June. We're in the middle of June right now. I mean, this transpired, this last little drop from high to low, it took 10 days. 7 bars, 10 days. Okay? So that's at least like a week and a half, right? 7 bars, but the stock week only has 5 days in it. So this could take, I guess we already have 1 day down. So this could take just a week. But maybe it takes 10 days. Maybe it takes 7 bars like the last one did. I don't know. This one, 7 bars is 12 days. But, you know, within a week to 2 weeks, I would expect that we are going to see this higher low. And I'm getting ready to buy down there. I actually have a buy order right now at $3.85, but I think I'm going to move it down. I'm probably going to move it down to where this gap starts, which is right at 357. I'm actually going to put it a little bit higher. Wherever I think the price is at least going to go to, I like to put it a little bit higher. My goal, and everybody's different. This is not how I'm recommending that anybody trades. This is just how I trade, okay? Or invest, whatever, you know, and technically I guess I'm trading it or investing it right now. I don't know. Swing trading it, I don't know. How I like to do it is if I set my minimum that I expect, I actually like to buy a little bit above it because I don't try to catch the bottom. I just try to catch around the bottom. Because if you try to catch the exact bottom, eventually you'll be right and you're going to be, you know, you're going to feel really good that you were the bottom or that you sold the top. You're going to feel good. But if you try to catch around it, you know, anticipate that you'll have a slight loss, but buy in the general vicinity of it. I think, at least from my perspective, from my experience, I find a lot more value and benefit doing it like that. So without going too much further into this, that's kind of all I've got for NIU. It is looking bearish right now. I'm sorry I didn't make a video about it on Friday. I should have made a video whenever I sold. I'll be better about that, man. If I make any moves, if I do any moves, I like to be transparent. I like to talk about what I'm doing because, especially in something that I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I feel like that's relevant, you know. Obviously, I don't expect anybody that's watching these videos to make their moves based off of my moves, but, you know, you're watching these videos because you probably value my perspective or you're looking for a new perspective other than your own. And, you know, long story short, I'm not trying to hide what I'm doing. You know, I want everybody there's really no reason to hide it. I don't like to talk numbers. I don't want to talk about money or anything like that as far as numbers go. But as far as being in or out of my position, I'm out of it right now. I'm prepared to get back in it, but down here where we're going to have a slightly higher high. And that's really all I got for you. On the daily, we have this bearish divergence potentially, which could be playing out. It wouldn't surprise me if we came below the 50 here, but that's not detrimental. We came below it here and then went back above it, came below it here, went back above it. We are forming higher lows in the RSI as well. Maybe we continue that trend as well. If we go on the weekly, we're still above the 50 on the weekly. In fact, if we had a red week next week and we held this 50 as support, previous area of resistance, held it as support, that would look really bullish actually. So we could have a red week next week and close around this 50 here, and then the following week we tear it up, go up to the upside. At least right now, that's something like that is what I'm anticipating. Regardless of how long it takes or what it looks like, I am anticipating prices to go fill this gap. I think we're going to fill this gap. And if we don't, we don't. Whatever. If it looks like we're bouncing from there and we turn up, I will happily buy slightly lower than where I sold, or even where I sold. The only thing that would kind of prevent me from doing that is if we just turned to the upside starting next week, and then I missed the boat. Whatever. Have to wait for it to come back down or something like that. But I don't expect that. I do think that we broke significant levels of support, and as a result, we're going to see the consequences to that. I don't think that they'll be too dramatic, but something in the way of 10 to 15% lower. That's my expectation for NIU. So without any further ado, that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Really appreciate everybody who's been commenting, following. I got some new subscribers. I keep getting new subscribers every day. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And I'm going to try to go through here Mr. D, ILY123, That Knock Life, Frelton Alves, Ethan, and what is it? It's like starts with a G. I forget your name. What is it? I don't want to cheat. What is it? Henise. I really appreciate everybody who's been commenting all these comments, whether they're just polite, grateful, like whatever comments, like just kind comments, or they're informative comments with genuine information behind them. I appreciate everybody. I just really appreciate everybody, and I wanted to give a special shout out to all the people who have left comments that I feel like impacted me, or that I don't know, they stood out to me. So thank you guys. Really appreciate you all. Yeah, have a good day. Take care. See you on the next one.